Today we're talking about capital. We're trying to figure out the best way for people to win in the shortest amount of time. And it's not a quick fix, it's not a get rich quick scheme or any multi level marketing strategy. This is just about leveraging what you have right around you, immediate capital that you can possibly deploy into an investment and bring you a return that you are happy with. And it's not just about making money or making good money and making it a good income. You have to use capital. And we're going to explain some differences and maybe some opportunities that you can take advantage of.
Welcome back to the next episode of Team Whittaker. I'm Barbara Whittaker.
And I'm Huey Whittaker.
So, in Huey's intro, he kind of discussed working capital is not the same as money. What do you mean by that?
But someone can make a good income, make a decent amount of money. And when they weigh that against maybe the expenses that they have in their household, they're not left with a lot of disposable income, which essentially could be their working capital. Capital is kind of an influx of cash that you can deploy into an investment seeking a return, which is separate from anything that needs to do with expenses and bills, right? It's separate. It's something that you can, leverage, which is again what we're hopefully going to talk about today.
I think the point that we're trying to help people get to maybe in this episode is really looking into their pockets to see where there are opportunities to leverage capital that will bring them a return that is outpacing, normal CPI standards or what's happening in the general economy, so that you can continue to keep up with the pace of inflation or exceed the pace of inflation, right? To continue to not lose money. If you have money in a bank account and it's just sitting there, you're really losing money over time.
Yeah, and there's terms for that in the financial world, and at the general easy one to remember is opportunity cost. Right, like when you're not in an investment that can bring you the return, and you're maybe just sitting on the sideline, sitting in a bank account that's getting you no yield, you're losing. It's opportunity cost. You're actually losing, and a lot of times we don't realize it, but right in our faces, the value of the dollar is going down. And again, you're losing money. So you do have to index your capital and your income. And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So let's start by maybe addressing one of the questions that we receive most often is, if I'm looking to invest, whether it's real estate, stocks, whatever the case may be, people always ask, well, what am I starting with? What is one place that somebody can look to start investing and getting that initial capital that they need to invest?
Yeah, and I think there's a few places that you can immediately look that can possibly help you with an influx of capital that you may need. And at a dinner that I recently went to with what we call the round table, a wise gentleman enlightened the group of past conversations that we've had. And one of the places that we recommended and we talked about him leveraging was right under his nose, and probably under several of your noses as well, which is your retirement plans. Mm-hmm. Specifically, in this case, it was his 401k. And he had the option to loan against his 401k and get an influx of capital, which really ignited a very successful real estate investing practice that he currently has. And that was kind of the initial influx, behind a lot of thought and preparation. I mean, it doesn't just happen, right? But, he was strategic. He made some great moves. But the influx of capital was through that retirement plan that was leveraged through a loan. And in some cases, there are different provisions in terms of the interest free, if you pay the interest back to yourself. But you can loan from, again, an active 401k mm-hmm. and get that influx of capital that you need to get yourself going in whatever investment that you feel is best for you.
The important piece of that, though, that I think we need to bring front and center is they had a retirement plan.
They had a retirement plan,
So
a 401k specifically.
yeah. They were already strategically putting money aside from their paycheck going into their 401k plan. So in the beginning, you talked about disposable income. A lot of times, individuals have income that they're making, and they're spending all of it, like you mentioned in your example. It's very important for you over time that individual was able to save a certain amount or put a certain amount away. Maybe the employer was adding to, and they were able to generate that capital that could then be deployed and make a higher return, put it back. So the important piece is that they took those initial steps over time to be able to generate, capital over a period.
Yeah, we're going to talk about like some saving strategies, forced savings, and things that you should really implement ASAP. So we'll talk about that, and finishing and rounding out retirement plans, right? So you might not have a 401k. Maybe you had an old 401k, which is different, because if it's not active and it's dormant, sitting in an old employer, you can still implement similar strategies, but they are different. So there are some maybe rollover opportunities that you can take advantage of, consolidate, bring it into an individual retirement account, IRA, or even if you might have a Roth IRA or some other retirement plan, you still have some opportunities in which you can leverage the capital in those plans. And yes, they are retirement plans. So the IRS does have a penalty, a 10% penalty if you take it before you're 59 and a half, as well as they are taxable accounts. But if you take the capital out, if you leverage the capital and then put it back within a certain period of time, 60 days, then in most cases, right, you want to make sure that you consult a professional before you do some of the strategies. But in most cases, you can put that money back, and there's no penalty, there's no taxes, and you're all good. You paid it back, you made your investment, you made your money back in your return, and all is well, and you've started a side business or an investment club for yourself or your spouse that now is all up and running, right, with maybe the returns that you just received.
And then you rinse and repeat.
Simple as that. And again, just because you took it out, you put it back, right, that doesn't mean that you never can do it again. It just means that you've kind of settled back in and you're looking for the next investment. And that's partly I would say a big part is you have to set your strategy prior to any of this movement. You have to know what your strategy is. You got to know if you're looking for long-term rentals in real estate, for example, or if you're trying to find or have an opportunity through a companion or a friend, a colleague that they've maybe presented to you that fits what you're looking for. Whatever it is, you have to have a strategy with what you're looking to influx this capital into before doing anything.
So what are some other ways that people can find capital if they're looking to invest?
Yeah, I mean, one way that we haven't really dove into that much is partnerships, right? And there are investors that are looking to deploy their capital into some good ideas that they just might not have access.
OPM. Other people's money. That.
So if you have access to something, then you know that it's pretty exclusive, that you can usually find someone that, if you don't have the capital, someone that will partner with you, because again, they don't have that access. So you have to leverage what you have and the opportunity you have. And so OPM works in that case.
I like how you just have one. Okay, what else we got? What other options?
Well, I want to go back to what you said earlier about the saving strategy and making sure that you do have a pot that you're building. So any disposable income, right, needs to be strategically placed, because if it isn't, it usually is like a magician, a magic trick. It usually disappears. And there's great strategies. I think the kids call them ads these days, but I'm old school, I guess. I call them commercials. But they're good. I mean, and they spend a lot of money on that stuff to get a lot of your money and to get a lot of our money, and it works for me in a lot of cases. And so we need to have a very well thought out plan for that disposable income. And a lot of times, like, going through people's expenses and their income, finding that disposable income, we don't realize what that number is, but it's
Yeah.
usually a
Surprised
lot.
by
It's
it.
a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
And so if you have a plan for it, it can grow pretty fast if you really just deploy it. And one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to have this conversation and this talk today is where the economy is and what's going on. And if you're paying attention to, the largest employer in the country, Walmart, and their plans not to hire anyone, they're hiring freeze for the next 3 years. And a lot of the layoffs that are happening, and there's a lot of things happening.
Technology.
Foreclosures
Foreclosures
jumping double-digit percentages in a month. So there's a lot of things happening. And what we're saying in behind all of that is have your capital ready.
Yeah.
Because yes, obviously a reset in the market or in the economy does hurt people for sure. But I would also tell you that the ones that have capital ready to deploy always are the ones that come out better after it's all said and done. So it's a necessary evil, if you will, to reset the economy. It does a lot of different things for a lot of, for a lot of facets in the economy and really how we operate. But you need to have your capital ready to go for whatever it is that you may want to jump into, because there should be and will be opportunities. And is it bad that you're investing to better your financial position? I say no, because we, and hopefully you all, are giving back and doing for people. So as we grow, people grow with us. And that's how it should be with you. So you should be able to, the blind can't lead the blind, right? So like you should be able to assist when somebody needs assistance. You should be able to step in and help. And how you do that is being in a position to do that exact thing.
Yeah.
And so that's why we feel that this was a good time to really talk about this and getting your capital ready to deploy into things, because there are going to be opportunities coming.
The whole reason we started this journey is we know that there are people that are struggling. We know that there are people that have a hard time getting ahead. They feel like they don't have the opportunities. Maybe they didn't have access to the information and the knowledge. And that really is the reason we started doing this. We believe that if you just take that initial step, little by little, over time, you can put yourself in a better place. So we know that, there may be individuals watching this that may be, experiencing tough times and hard times. We do not overlook that. This particular episode is really about those that may be in a different position right now, that have the ability to make changes in their current financial situation. If you're working in living paycheck to paycheck right now, there are obviously other strategies, right, that need to take place first before you get to this point. So we want to make sure that's clear, that we're not tone deaf to what's happening with all of the stats and stories that we're seeing with tough times in the economy and all those things.
Yeah, for people that are in the position that Barbara just mentioned, the forced saving strategy should be your first step.
Yeah.
You need to force yourself to not go get that Starbucks drink, 3 or 4 or 5 or 2 times a week or whatever it is, and just put that money in a bank account. Like if that's what it needs to be, that's what it needs to be. Now go seek yourself out a high yield savings account. Get 3.5% to 4% right now. Put $200 a month in if that's what you can do. But do what you can and force yourself and be disciplined.
And to the people that don't even see that, right? There's going to be people that say, well, I don't do that already, and there's still nothing, right? Like we would even say before that step, like you got to start with the mindset. So our model really is the learn portion of that includes mindset. You got to change your mindset first. Like if you can't see it, we got to change what you're seeing in order for you to be able to see where you can start, because there's always somewhere you can start. If your bills aren't getting paid, something needs to not get paid anyways, right? Like we just need to start there. But yeah, I just want to make sure we said that.
Yeah, and again, going back to another video, even the people that Barbara just mentioned, right, that like, I can't even do that. Well, if there's an evaluation, a self-evaluation that maybe needs to take place to say, hey, is there a way to pick up, a few hours somewhere? Can I get something online? Like, in order to get to the next level
Something's
of
gotta
what
change.
the step, like your progression and the next step in your progression individually, you need to do is an act on your part, right? Obviously, faith is built into that. You need to have faith, and hopefully your faith will carry you to that next level. But you also need to act on that faith, because there are promptings that are happening too. And if it's, selling cupcakes or baking something, or doing something that you just like to do, that's what it needs to be that. And if it's an extra $100 a month, then that's what it is. But the goal is to help anyone in any situation take the next step, regardless of what that is.
So, to those who are looking to find capital under their noses in their current situation, we encourage you to check out your 401k plans and your retirement plans that you have, IRAs. Look out for investors. There's opportunities that you can maybe find online. Where can you put money that's in a bank account that you can deploy in other places? Do you have disposable income?
A lot of investors send finder's fees if you find them properties, distressed properties.
Yes.
I mean, there's ways.
When you're looking, you'll find it.
When there's ways to do some things. So
what you focus on becomes clear.
Yeah, turn the mind off.
Yes. So is that it? We done?
And regardless of whatever you think. Go ahead.
So until next time, start strong, grow bold, be fruitful.
See you.